Hello all you beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all a sugar flower that I recently made and I fell in love with it and it was absolutely stunning. So I'm definitely sure you guys are going to really like this video and enjoy it. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. So guys, to make this beautiful rose, you're going to need some gum paste in two colours of your choice, whether you want to do it white and another colour or you want to do two dark colours, that's completely up to you. Some rose petal veiners, I've got a foam bud here, cocktail stick, 20 gauge green flower wire, sugar glue, petal cutters, and I've got 3 types of petal cutters here, but I'll leave the measurements for these in the description box below, and some scissors and your storage board. You'll also need an apple tray and your foam pad and a rolling pin or a ball tool, so whichever you prefer out of the two. So first we're going to prepare our bud, and all we're going to do is we're going to poke it with a cocktail stick in the centre and all the way through. Then we're going to stick the green flower wire in, bring it to the centre, bring it down, get the wires across and twist them to secure them. Then just get some pliers and just tighten them. Just like so. You want this really nice and tight. And that's our bud all prepared. Now it's time to get our 2 icing strips together. So I'm just going to pop this to one side. I've already made my icings pliable, so I'm going to use a little bit of white and a little bit of a burgundy maroon shade. And all we're going to do is we're going to roll both of them out separately. So once you've got both nice and thin, then you would want to just place one on top of the other. Now if you can get it to the same size and you want to cut it to the same size so you're not wasting any icing, then you can by all means do so. I'm just doing it for video purposes, so I'm not going to bother that much. And then roll it over just to bring them together, and then put them through your pasta machine for one last time and get it down to the thinnest again, because it's now gone a little bit thick. And once you do that, then both of your separate colours will now have combined, and you just want to go ahead and use whichever side you prefer out of the two and just start cutting out your petals. So you'll need one for the biggest one for the first petal. Then I like to use 3 rows of 3s of this particular size, which again I'll list in the description box. And then whatever icing you have remaining, you can cut out your large petals. So once you've got your largest petal ready, I like to use this sort of a tool to roll the petal out even thinner and to make it a little bit longer as opposed to the rolling pin. So get it really nice. Never mind, just pop that to one side and just use the bottom half. So just get it really nice and long. And really thin. And then flip it over and using your sugar glue, just coat the whole petal. I tend to leave a little bit of a gap at the top, just where it's going to come together, but then coat it all the way to the bottom. And just wrap that round just like a cape. overlapping that. Just like so, and then just press the rest of it down and glue that together. And then once you've added that, we can add our 3 small petals, for which I like to use the round edged rolling pin. So making it a little bit bigger and thinning the edges out. And we're just gluing the bottom left and right sections up to about half. And you'll be able to see the burgundy shade or your other shade coming through nicely from the white. And just add the first petal on the join of the previous petal. Overlap that by a half. Add the next. And you want to add these a little bit higher. And then pull the first one back and overlap and tuck that one in. And you want to get these as tight as possible. So if you need to add a little bit more glue to the top, then by all means do so, but you want a really nice, tight and compact. And then just pull that one back. Drag it down to make it a little more tight. And then you can open them up with your cocktail stick. Just like that. So one row down, let's do row 2. Again, the smaller size petals, and you want to do exactly the same. And once you've glued the bottom left and right sides, you want to add the next petal on the previous join and a little bit higher, but again tight. And then overlap that by a half. And then the same for this one. Tucking it under the first petal and then pulling that back and keeping it nice and tight. Remember, drag it down if you want it a little bit more tighter. And again, you can open them up just a tiny bit, keeping them quite tight as well, so not too much. And then you want to add the third row a little bit higher and on the previous join. So let's do that once again. Glue the left and right sides, and again slightly higher and on the join of the previous row. And then move on to our next rows. But that's what you should get after this one. So whilst we're waiting for that to dry, we can go ahead and cut out 30 more petals that we're going to use for the outer ones. From this point onwards, you'll need your veiner. So just do exactly the same thing as we did with the previous petals. Just thinning them out and veining them. You can thin out either side, so it doesn't really matter which side you thin. And then just flip it over, pop it in your veiner. But be sure to remember which side you're doing for whichever colour you want facing outwards. And then apply a lot of pressure to get that nice texture on the petals. And it looks like it's got a cracking effect. And you'll need 5 of these. So go ahead and just do 5. So once you've done all 5, get your sugar glue and just coat the left and right side of these petals as well. And then you can either place these at the same height or slightly below, and I'll go for the same height. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold back one side of this petal and hold this a little bit tight from the sides, and then I'll open it up from the middle, and then just add your next one. Again, fold back. Just make sure you've added it correctly. And again, fold that back. And then just keep going. And then remember to fold. So, and then you can open that up just a tiny bit from the middle. Then you should end up with something like this. So leave this to dry ever so slightly, because you don't want it completely dried, because once you've added the next row you'll be able to maneuver it and move them about as you wish and how you want it to look overall. So don't let it dry completely, but just enough so you're still able to move that about and it's stuck together, so it's not falling off. Let's just pop this to one side for 1 second, and let's do our next row, for which we'll need 6 petals. And you want to do the exact same thing. So once you've done all of them, pop them into your apple tray, and I'll just bring it closer like that so you're able to see. You don't want any curves at this point, so try not to get any, and then you also want it cupped from the middle. So just like that. So place all your petals into the apple tray like that and allow them a couple of minutes to dry before adding them to our flower. So once they've had a couple of minutes in the tray, just take them out and glue the bottom left and right side. So this time you want them slightly below the top bit of the previous row and on the join of the previous row as well. So just like that, and then feel free to bend back. Just like so, and then continue adding the next one until you go all the way around and overlapping by a half, again at the same height. And then once you've added all your petals, you should have something that looks like this beauty. And now we're onto our final row of 7 petals. So go ahead and prep those petals exactly how we have with the previous row, and then we'll come back and add them on. So once you've done all 7 of your petals, we're going to now glue the bottom left and right side of the petals and then add them on. So pick up your flower, and again you want to add it on the previous join, on the previous petal, and you want it at the same height. Because when you bend them backwards, when you fold them backwards, they'll bring the height down a little bit. So just stick and then just fold backwards. And there we have it, guys. Just look how stunning this looks. I can't wait to use this on one of my cakes, but I absolutely love it. Now guys, are you ready to see them? There we go. Just look at how gorgeous they look. This is just an idea that I picked up once I saw an image on Google as an inspiration. So I thought, you know what, we have to try this as well. So that's where the idea came from, of combining 2 colours. One a more dominant colour and the other one a lighter colour. But so they both stand out. So this is the one that I did on video. This is one I did earlier before that, and this I've just turned it the other way around. So whereas these 2 have got white in the inside, this one's got the white outside. And they all look equally gorgeous. And I did manage to break a few of the petals as well, because I wanted to show you just how brittle and fragile they can really get. So as you can see, there's a few little bits and pieces broken. So just be very, very careful when making these because they are very, very thin and very fragile and very brittle, and as you can see, they do break extremely easily, so just be very, very careful. So guys, on this beautiful note, this video comes to an end. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Once again, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to hit that bell icon and turn on all notifications so you never miss out whenever I upload a brand new video. And I'll be back next week with a brand new one. Take care and bye guys.